Hello and welcome back to What the Flag. We have had a little bit of a hiatus. However, the amazing trio have returned. We are back together to really hit on everything that's happened over the last month. It has been mayhem. I mean, I feel like ultimately we almost need to bring it all the way back to pre-Super Bowl time, which feels like ages ago. I don't even have time to ask you guys what you've been up to. But let's start first off with Victoria Chavez winning the World Games player of the games, which is incredible. What did you think, Yaz, when you saw that? Because that, I mean, flag football of all those sports, unreal.
I mean, you've said it once, I'll say it again. The reason flag football has the stage it does is because of women in the sport like Victoria Chavez. It is so amazing that we are currently in a sport environment where flag is at the forefront of everything, winning awards for just being amazing, being an absolute baller, but also like a female in the sport, in a sport that's growing so rapidly across the globe. She's a massive ambassador for what you can be when you hit the pinnacle of the sport, and not only hitting the pinnacle of the sport, hitting the pinnacle of sport on a world stage, like of all of the games that they could have chosen, like you were the one who won it. Like so incredible, so amazing, like huge for women in flag and just huge in flag football for in general. Like the reason this flag is going to continue to grow is because of players like that and how they play in this sport.
Yeah, an absolute baller. And, she really just, I think that whole process embodied what the community meant, and how everyone pulled together and really like the far reach of our community, which is really quite special. And that kind of leads me to, she was one of the people that was in the kind of new wave resurgence of the Under Armour campaign. Ken, you've seen that now. I mean, you've got kind of the stars of the show ultimately that are really being put on this massive platform by Under Armour. How did you feel about
Yeah.
that?
No, I mean the stage is being set, the pedestals are built. Because I think also like the flag at the World Games was one of the most it was the most watched sport. No, I think the stats came out afterwards. So um it was huge because then you have organizations like Under Armour jumping in, pushing like really the advert that they did with Ashley Clam and Deanna and um uh Gracie. I never know how to say her name.
Izzy Grachi and
I apologize.
Deanna and Linnea, and then the
Yeah,
three
all of them
Team
like
Mexico players.
huge, just a real recognition of women in the sport. It's amazing to see, and I think it just goes to show that there is the audience out there because this stuff is being created, and curated around flag football. So the more it kind of grows, the more companies, organizations, brands want to get involved. Like it can only be a positive future for flag, So that was really it's good to see that as it continues to grow and spread, kind of having we've all been around it for ages now, but new
Mhm.
people are being turned on to the sport and are watching it. It's a really amazing feat.
Yeah. And
And
it
when
makes me think, sorry, it makes me think of sort of maybe a few months in the future, but this time kind of last year, I sent a picture to the group chat and it was the Under Armour store that was opening up in Washington, and Deanna was the poster outside of the shop, like there was the huge box over it. And I just think like from then when I sent that photo to now, like the growth in that short time, and it's not even a year yet, of how big flag has become, how amazing that stage has been, and even just like the development from being the sort of like the face of Under Armour outside that store to the ad that they've created now. Like if you haven't seen it, like go and watch it. Like it's really really good. But just how that's developed so quickly into something that's so worldwide, so major, like everyone could access it.
Can I just ask a question to that point and to the growth that is kind of like it's rapid growth, no one denies that, or but do you think the growth needs to be managed at all? Do you think it needs to be, do you know that you have that kind of saying? It's more kind of a business term, really, where so you're like, you don't want growth to be too big too soon because it kind of like peters out and then it's a bit of a bubble that bursts and then goes away. Does the growth need to be managed, or is it just fine to let it run free?
I think it needs to find a point where it can be maintained. Like growth is always positive, but it
Hmm.
needs to find a point where you get to that. I don't know where that level is currently, but you need to be able to get to a point where you can maintain it. You don't want all of this hype leading up to like the Olympics, that huge world stage, then after the Olympics, nothing. Because it's great, now you've got all these initiatives, um, flags a world games sport, amazing. People like Victoria Chavez are getting noticed, people like Deanna are on the front of the face of Under Armour. Ashley Clam is, doing her thing, being absolutely amazing. Like you've got Phoebe commentating on the on the games in on the men's game the USA versus Mexico, and you've got all of this sort of awareness and this real rapid sort of like growth, but it's great, but that has to continue. You still have to be giving those platforms to those women. Like they still need to be part of your ad campaigns. Those men still need to be able to play on those stages that they play, and that needs to continue well after the Olympics occurs. It can't just get there and everyone goes, all right, yeah, great, round it up, like, let's go again in 4 years. Like, and I think that's the growth is not negative if you find a way to maintain the success that you've got.
Hmm.
And looking at it from like, you know, this is we're definitely on the precipice of like success for this sport. And like you're saying, Ken, it's about to kind of all explode. And I'm thinking about it more from like players' perspectives, people getting agents, people getting sponsorships and deals and NIL and all of that. Like all of that is about to happen for a lot of people. And I don't know what that I think there's not enough information like education based around like what that looks like, how to manage that. And I think that's where the gap in the market ultimately is currently. You
Hmm.
know, I had the pleasure of sitting on a panel during Super Bowl week, and that was one of the conversations like what would help this sport like to continue success, like whether financially or whatever. And it's like, okay, well, we talk so much about the pro leagues, like the Tomorrow League, that's been kind of signed off for the men's and women's teams and flag. Well, okay, now you're needing the whole support structure within that. Like, what does it look like to be a professional athlete? What does it look like to manage your social media? Now it's more of a job. You're not just going to go to practice, and leave. You're going to have to have social media obligations. You're going to have other sort of showing up and show outs. And I mean, yeah, as you've kind of experienced that even from your time in the States.
Absolutely. And it actually circles back to something that Jacqueline Dahl said when we were at the Women in Football, American Football clinic. She turned around and she said that everything you do becomes your full-time job. And she says, when you click on your social media, do you look at it and think, this is a business page? Or do you look at it and think, oh yeah, like that's a pretty picture of like whatever you've put up there? And like definitely, I mean, I'm not too worried because all my like social media platforms are private for the most part, but like it's such a change when you have to have that real separation between your private life and then what essentially becomes your business life, because you now have to control sort of like what you're putting out there. And the internet's a dangerous place. Like anything you put out, that's there forever. It doesn't matter if you delete it, like someone's got it somewhere. So it's, how do you control the narrative of you in that space and sort of make it support the image that you want to become, I guess.
First of all, yes, as part of your signing a contract to become a what the flag, I don't know, host, presenter, personality, you can't have your social media on private. That's part
Yeah,
of
I'm scared, man.
that's
I'm
part of our
scared.
growth model.
Scared.
No, but I mean, it's really interesting because to that point, I don't know if it's just my algorithms, but I'm seeing a ton of it's new and they all use the word academy. Like I'm not throwing shade at anyone, ton of coaching
Not
academy, ton of,
institution. What?
but I'm seeing a ton of like players who are clearly working to put themselves in position to be ready for brand partnerships and all around flag football, which is really interesting. But it's also it's scary to a different point in terms of how many of these people are cowboys. I don't mean the Dallas Cowboys. I mean just like how many people are actually knowledgeable, how many actually know what they're doing, both from a playing and a coaching standpoint. Um, I'll say it. I'm not going to name any names. Saw one player
Name the name.
set up a page. No, no, no. Set up a page and without minting words, just horrible, 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 horrible. But the page was very well set up, and it's kind of finding that balance, I think, between how do we, is it even our responsibility to make sure that it's the good players that have the good pages, or is that down to each individual to sort their thing, I don't know.
I think it's hard, but I think to your point about brand deals, I mean, look at what Nike's just done. They've signed with BAFA, they've signed with Canada, they've signed with Mexico. Like that's a huge organization who are stepping up and saying, we believe in flag and we believe in these three teams in particular. And hey, I mean, these might be three of the teams that go to the Olympics as well. Um, Obviously we want Team Spain there for you as well, Coach Kenny.
Nah, I'm offended. No, 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 legit, legit. Like so, because it's funny. I would love to know what Nike's criteria was for selecting those three teams. I think I know what it was, but my guess would be because so USA or were already Under Armour, right?
Mm.
As were I believe Japan and China, if I'm right, if I'm accurate.
But those teams are the top four teams in the world.
Which teams?
USA, Canada, Mexico, Great Britain
top four
in the world, like world rankings.
women's though,
Yeah,
not
women.
men's. Right, and that's my point is as to the selection because
Women push the game forward. What?
but absolutely, but the partnerships have not just been for the women's flag teams, it's been
No,
for, the holistic, so because hey, top four women's tackle teams, Spain's got to be in there considering they're back-to-back European Championships, etc. So it was just a very interesting, but I've taken it as I'm adding it to my villain arc. Is that what they call it? Like
Yeah, yeah.
yeah. So
Origin
you got
story.
Nike
like,
in it. Yeah, I
say
mean,
again?
you got Oakley in it. You can't be wearing any other
I've got
brand.
no, but wait, I can fully
The
hate
Oakley
on
do
Nike.
trousers.
I reserve rights to hate on Nike as a part of my villain story, so I can build so that when I tell when they make the movie, I'll be like Jordan. I'll be like, oh, Nike snubbed me like back in 2026. They snubbed me. That's why I'm forever a insert new brand here that's gonna
This
take
is
on.
where we
Oakley.
say this is only the thought of
Kenny's
Kenny.
views,
I
Kenny's
still
views
want
are
that
his
Nike
own.
brand. Like I literally have it on right now. I still am happy for you to represent me in all ways, shape, or form. Kenny's ideas are not my ideas. Like, okay.
Oh dear. Look, this brand here, where is it? Yes, right there. I'm super happy with.
You better hope they start doing your trainers too at this rate because
They
they're
do
gonna ban
actually
you
do
from
They
wearing
they
it.
trainers. They do
they they,
everything.
they do. So first of all, I'm not gonna put my feet up on the table,
No,
but
come show you your
no,
feet.
no, no. It's all right. 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 I'll listen. Oh yeah. Anyway, people don't recognize Oakley kicks are going to be a thing. You heard it here first. Like
I have no
just
doubt.
yeah. So that's there. But no. Honestly, if I'm being serious for a second, just the fact that Nike took that because Nike is the bigger organization. Let's be candid, right? So the
Mm.
fact that they took the strides to from it was clearly yes again in the announcements they said they're covering all of the American football, both tackle and flag, but it was very clearly, in my opinion, and I'm glad Phoebe said the same, clearly based around the women's flag teams of those nations, so that is validation if it was ever needed. And again, shouts to Under Armour, they've been there before, they've been doing it. Because I'm actually honestly for anyone that's supporting flag football. For me, that like it's youth, it's women's, it's men's, it's for everyone. I've always said that. But anyone that's supporting the sport, yeah, respect to you. And we need more people. So I think Nike have really opened that door now for a lot of other organizations to come in, get involved, and show a very tangible, cough cough, financial way. Having said that, I don't know that there is. I just assume that there's a financial piece to
Yeah,
the
well, that
Nike
was going
piece.
to be my next question. Like,
Oh,
in what capacity are they supporting? Like, I think it's great that this partnership has been announced, but is it in terms of merch? Is it flags? Is it resources? Is it venues? Is it actually like giving money? Is it kit? Like,
expertise, one.
what? Like, yeah.
So
Is it coaches? Is it coaching clinics? Like, to
and
what extent are you?
shout out the guys from the way we HNC it, a podcast here and also in the UK. But I heard they were saying that it's rumor mill, so someone told someone that, and I quote, I'm going to try and quote that it was a not insignificant amount apparently, but I don't know how true that is. That's what kind of they said. So either way, it's the visible support as a
I mean,
starting
it's
point.
Nike. It's not going to be £10, is it?
I mean, but it could not. It doesn't. I think there's a lot to be learned from like sponsorships and partnerships, and it doesn't have to be financial necessarily in terms of giving
No,
money. It
in
could be,
kind is just as
yeah,
valuable.
yeah. Guys, Yaz is going to be running her business education sessions, sports business education sessions starting April 2026. Sign up on What the Flag or your What the Flag platforms. She's going to talk you through.
Corporate development, I'm there, bro. Business minded, roll safe. That's all I'm saying.
Roll safe. Was that the hashtag? That's the
No,
tagline.
that's this. If you know, you
Okay.
know.
Well, I mean, Nike being on board is huge, and kind of thinking of other things that we've had sadly missed out on. We also had the USA versus Mexico game that happened during Super Bowl week, and that was kind of the revisiting of it because, of course, both of them were named co-champions at the Continentals, where the game was rained out. And just to see them out there on the biggest stage, really, since. I
Mhm.
mean, there were so many events that happened during Super Bowl week, from the glow up to the showcase, obviously USA Mexico men's. That was amazing. Just the energy and effort that was put into it.
Got Jam. I got two things to say. First of all, the rivalry game, USA men's versus Mexico. I've always wondered how tough it is to gear up to play one singular flag game. I think that's quite a tough thing for people that play
Yeah.
flag because you used to play multiple games and actually building up to the final game being the biggest one. So that always intrigues me. But Mexico had them. Mexico had them until they didn't. And
Oh,
until they didn't was when they had not the QB1 trying to throw passes to QB1 in the end zone. That led to a pick. But yes, the other thing I was going to say was I don't think this is an unpopular opinion at all. I think the UK showcase game was better than the US one. 100%. The celeb flag game that Phoebe was in was better than the one in the States, personally. Maybe it's because we were actually
USA
there.
had that one had 14 million YouTube viewers. That's huge. The one with Ash and Deanna, that's mega
but
numbers.
I would argue that that was because your game was first. Like
Wait, sorry.
your game like set the tone for those viewers wanting to watch that game.
Sorry, clarity, point of clarity. Phoebe, are you saying the one in the UK was bigger or the one in the US was bigger?
No, US had
US was way
14
bigger.
million viewers on YouTube.
I don't, yep. The game in the UK for me was better than the game in the US. I'm not viewers
The
view
content of the game, like watch as to
yeah,
watch.
the actual, and I'm not surprised it has people watching it. That's not, but if lots of people watched the Super Bowl final, that was not the most exciting.
Dire. Dire.
History making 5 field goals, guys.
Yeah. The
Dire.
What else
Boston
do you
kickers,
need?
they're really appealing to the European audience.
Yeah, I
Hmm.
have to say it. He's going to be very upset that I did. But imagine having a husband as a Patriots fan. Dire.
Do you have a husband as a Patriots fan?
I have a husband as a Patriots fan, and a
Oh
very vocal one
no.
as well. Likes to spend like the whole football season reminding me that he's a Patriots fan.
Oh
Ew.
dear.
I know. I
I
know. I
thought
mean,
better of him.
I
And
know.
you chose him. Yes, you. Did you know
Well,
he was a Patriot?
no, because I started doing football like after we started going out. So like
Ah, it
this
wasn't
wasn't
a
even on
thing.
my list. And then, he asked me to be his girlfriend and then, he kind of just went, I'm a Patriots fan. I went, oh!
Ah, wow. Oh dear. Oh dear. Yeah. Yes. I don't know. I think it was the run up to I think like the next segment we'll talk about the Super Bowl. There's a bit to shout out, but I think the run up to the Super Bowl was cool. Just quickly, Phoebe being in San Francisco for Super Bowl week. How was that? And I know you kind of jumped around, but just a super quick roundup.
Well, I mean, it's incredible because it's Super Week. It's also like the most exhausting week of the year,
Mm.
just with the amount of work that goes on. But I went in a Waymo, a driverless car, and so I feel like I've achieved the tech box that comes with San Francisco. But no, it was an incredible week. Nickelodeon, calling games, you know, just tons of really fun stuff.
Yeah, huge.
Miss Yaz.
Just to like close off the segment, I have to say, a highlight of the USA Mexico game was absolutely Desiree's reffing. Because every now and then, like, she's very much a ref that's like, just let them play. Until it gets like until there's really an issue, like let them play. And every now and then you just kind of hear these little like clips of I warned y'all. Oh,
Yeah.
free tackling. I warned y'all.
Don't mess with Des. She
Absolutely
is the
not.
GOAT, the
Yeah.
absolute GOAT
Absolutely.
of officiating.
Did you hear her do the coin toss in Spanish?
That was mega.
Yes.
Yeah, that was huge. That was huge.
Yeah,
Yeah,
she's a
absolutely.
game changer, that one.
Learn
And
from that, Kenny. Hmm?
yeah, exactly. And she will be in Ireland in only 2 weeks. So everyone will be graced with her presence ultimately.
That's
But
it.
for now, we will be right back after this. Welcome back to more What the Flag goodness, powered by MVP Travel or
Zoom, zoom, zoom,
Touchdown
zoom, zoom.
Trips, whichever one you want to get your sports fix from. Look, we got a lot of sports fix. Got to be with Touchdown Trips when we were out in San Francisco the night before Super Bowl. It was just
That was
phenomenal.
That was a wild experience. It was a speakeasy bar, like a little old school kind of door. You know the ones that it's just a door. You walk in and there's just a door. And then you press the bell, the little buzzer intercom thing, zzz, and then some dude comes out and he's like, "How can I help you?" But there's a low-key shady bouncer like outside it, just keeping an eye on the door. So you know there's something there, but whatever. And then you go in and it's this super dark, like clearly one of those places that was actually really used during like prohibition, but it
Nice.
was really cool in there, like really, and they have all these funky drinks and stuff. But Phoebe's there doing the thing she does with um I've lost all the names.
With
Look at
things.
that. How do we go? Jeff Reinbold and Mickey.
Michael McQuaid.
Mickey, I call him. I shouldn't call him Mickey. Mike McQuaid. Um, and they're mid like their whole spiel that they do in their conversations, and then outside there's just this ruckus like going on, and there's some dude and his girlfriend with a dog, but the dog is like relieving itself on the street, and the bouncer has a problem with the dog relieving itself on the street, and that turns into a big thing, and then there's like shouting and arguing, and then it's like kind of, do we need to go outside? Do we not? The managers have to go and sort it out, but it's like the best thing was Phoebe, Jeff, Michael were just like this the whole time. All that's going on outside, and they're just like super professional in everything that they're doing, which was
Of course.
that was fun. That's part of the excitement of touchdown trips. If you get to really experience the cities as it goes. Sorry, I'd actually forgotten that happened to you, till you mentioned it.
Yeah, so that was really good. And then Super Bowl itself was fun. Not maybe the most exciting game, but we had a great time. Bad Bunny halftime show
Loved it.
and
The grass
sleep.
people, shout out the grass people. I'm gonna keep
Yeah,
shouting them out. I've got a year left to shout it. Well, a couple of more months before the next Super Bowl. I want to be
yeah,
a grass person.
yeah. And then we pretty much drove the next day to OIA. So off to Los Angeles for the Oakley Icon Alliance, Mr. Kenday.
I'm wearing the hat to represent what was one of the best events I've been um, able to witness, be a part of. Oh, pausing, sorry.
Before you talk about your witnessing, shout out to Aden Dirty, the first British defensive coordinator. Kenny was really keen on acknowledging him, a mentor to himself, myself. So yeah, making history warriors. So in the blood with Yaz. So yeah, all three of us having
Come
cool ties
on.
to him, which is exciting. So shout out to Aden and making history and being the first of many going forwards.
just to that note, there's a video of him like on the final whistle, and he just kind of sits down and like he exhales, like,
Oh.
and I think that moment is one that many people can kind of, I don't think you ever really understand it, but yeah, it just really tells the story of the man, you know, like he didn't go running onto the field or whatever. He just kind of sat down and was like,
Mm.
oh, like, wow, like did it, which was that, I think that was a really cool thing to see. So congratulations, coach. Hopefully many more. And I think 2027, what year are we now? A head coaching role on the road down the path somewhere. We'll see. We'll see.
Ooh.
But yes, thanks for that. Thanks.
News hot off the press. What?
Uh, yes, no, I was saying OIA, Oakley Icon Alliance, like
Ooh.
wow, wow, wow. Absolutely. Um, I genuinely was I would say blessed to like kind of see it because one of the things that's always important for me, really a big deal, is when making sure people feel thought of, making sure people feel considered, you know? And the way the competition had worked, they started with 16 teams kind of all over the states, whittled them down to eight, and then brought the eight teams all to Los Angeles for this kind of finals tournament. But we were there 4 days, 5 days, the entire time, the way they looked after like all the girls on each team and their coaches, the way they had like prepared for them, they all did like these crazy photo shoots. They got a ton of stuff, but it's not about giving them stuff. It's about knowing, acknowledging the efforts and the energy of each individual. That was for me the best thing to see because it's one thing to say you're committed to the growth of the game, you're committed to the future of flag, but the way they pulled out all the stops to really show that was crazy. And I've not even talked about the level of football that was being played out there by these young women. Like, wow, 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 wow. It was really a fantastic event. I don't know, Phoebe was there like you. I said Phoebe was there like I was a guest. Phoebe was working there, you know. But like, what was it like commentating on the games? And because you've also seen a lot of those girls and teams like come up through the years, no?
Yeah, so I'm quite familiar with most of them, and it was a East versus West. I think the biggest thing that came out of it was, that was probably the first and only tournament where all eight teams, there were no easy games because all of them were, it was like a finals round of a tournament essentially. So even when we play internationally, sometimes you get an easy team in your group. And so that kind of is like a little, it is true. It is true.
Yeah, I was gonna ask you to name a team. What were you talking about, Phoebe? What teams are easy games?
No, but I mean, I will say GB do not have an easy game coming up at the Worlds, but in our group, it is like the group of death. However, a lot of times you might get one or two, like one game at least, where you feel like, all right, we've got a little bit of an opportunity here to kind of find our feet. There was none of that. It was from the moment go, from that first whistle, everything was competitive. And so to see it on that level was pretty phenomenal. And to just see what they achieved over those days, holding it at the Bolts, the LA Chargers home, knowing that Harbaugh and Mike McDonald are watching the girls playing from their offices is a very cool and real situation. And just the noise that Oakley made about it, it was great to do commentary for it, working with Kate Allman, and of course Nazika doing it as well. Like it was really, really just a great experience. We had some of the USA girls fly out and just be a part of it. But that's the future generation, and it was just a incredible all around experience.
Because then they also had a panel, or they had the girls in the meeting room, the team meeting room, where all the LA, oh, I can say all the LA Chargers players sit, on a regular basis, and they get coached up. But they had USA Football give a presentation on the pathway to making Team USA. They had Derwin James, one of the Chargers players, like in having a conversation with the girls, talking to them about the growth of the game and some of his experiences. And it was just it was 4 days, but so much was packed into it, in terms of things that will benefit the girls going forward.
Oakley headquarters as well, which was incredible.
Oh,
We did the tour
well,
there.
I didn't even listen. Yeah, if you have to, if you ever get the chance, because they have a shop, they have like a shop in the headquarters. If you ever get a chance, go visit. We learned a lot about the glasses. Speaking of which, it was super coincidental, but they did a kind of tour for us about what makes the glasses the shades. So that they're not shades. They're not shades. They are eyewear, protective eyewear that people wear as sunglasses, right? I learned from the tour. I listened. But they did a thing where they showed us why the shades are so good in terms of vision, but also protection. And then did you guys see the speed skater who the blades hit her in the face and the glasses took the brunt of it. So she's got a cut under her eye, but she did a post afterwards showing the shades, and you could see where the blade had nicked the glasses. Her eye would have been gone, like if not for the fact that she was wearing the Oakleys as a which was I was just like,
That in
so we've
itself
seen
is enough advertisement for a brand boy.
100%, 100%. So we'd seen because they do like a high velocity test and like a heavy weight test, and they showed it with competitors' glasses, and then they showed it with Oakley's, and true to form, the competitors' one shattered, but the Oakley one's protected. And then it was just not more than 2 weeks later to see it in, because Oakley had a massive presence, not obviously at the Winter Olympics in Milano, Italy. Um, so yeah, that was that. I mean, that was another great. And then they also have like a museum a whole that shows the history. And walking through there, like that was for me as I fancy myself as a bit of a creative, as a bit of a designer. But to walk in there and to see the freedom they allow their designers to feel and work through, like it was all super cool. Like that's my favorite thing for a number of years. Sorry.
I tested the durability of the glasses at the presentation for the team. I was on stage announcing our Oakley All Tournament team, where a flying Birkenstock hit me in my glasses. We will get the video evidence because it was like,
Absolutely. Yeah.
and my glasses saved my eyesight.
What happened to just throwing tomatoes? Like, is that not a thing anymore?
Do you know,
You know,
in
I
certain
can't.
countries you throw slippers, you throw shoes. So it was
Boo!
Exactly. Better
it was a
entertainment,
moment.
please.
But speaking of Phoebe like gliding through moments, she was just like, and that's why you wear your Oakleys to protect your eye. And I was just like, yeah, what's class right there. Well done, well done, well done. No,
Appreciate
it,
you.
it was an amazing experience to be in LA. Like most of the days were clear blue skies. Again, USA Football also did a camp for like little kids and the up and coming young girls as well. Um, all great, all great. And to be around so many people. Olga was there from Spain. Mona was there from Germany. I'm not gonna. Nausicaa obviously was there from Italy. Like it was. Oakley are doing a lot. And then the final piece I will say to see that what they have planned for 2026 and beyond, and the way they're looking to grow their imprint, put their imprint on the sport of flag on a global scale is just so encouraging. Like I was very impressed. Very happy to be working with them. Uh-huh.
And then we decided to do the most ridiculous tour of our lives and fly the following morning to Brazil. This is the first, maybe the only trip that Kenny's allowed to plan, as I'm still recovering.
Kenny did a great job of
Tell the people then, Ken.
squeezing as much into 3 days in Brazil as possible. So first of all, who knew who knew that Brazil was like a 12-hour flight away from LA? Like it's all on the same side of the world. It shouldn't take that long to fly. Um, but yeah, so that was we left lunchtime on the Monday, landed on the Tuesday morning. So LA we landed in Sao Paulo, but then had to get a connection to Rio, right? Amazing, beautiful places, great food.
I'm going to interject. We had the connection to Rio solely for the experience of Carnival. There was no other reason to go, just to be clear. Carry on.
I disagree with that because our host in Brazil was also in Rio, so we were meeting
At
our host
Carnival.
at Carnival. Hey, if you're in, how can you be in Brazil during Carnival and not go to Rio?
I
Like,
mean, it was perfect timing. Like, did you line
absolutely,
that up on
absolutely. One would
purpose?
say it was almost planned that way, right? So like some
Almost,
people think it
almost.
was,
Just carry
right?
on.
So went to Rio. Rio was cool because we did the Christ. We went to see the Christ the Redeemer statue, which was like It's one of the seven wonders of the world. Like just amazing. Getting up there again. Just I honestly. So to the point, Phoebe may be right. I should probably do some research about some stuff. I'm just like, it's a big, massive statue. It's like Big Ben. You just walk up to it, you see it, you go, right? But it's not
It's
like
far.
that.
It's like up a massive hill, no?
Why do you know that? Why do you know that?
Because it's Christ the Redeemer. Like the whole point is that there's a certain picture. I don't know if you've seen it. It's like a really famous picture where the clouds sit where like, and then he's meant to be above it. Like, and that's why they designed it that way because the cloud cover can sometimes be really low, and because it's obviously Christ, like he sits above the clouds.
So I wish I would have seen whatever National Geographic episode you watched to learn
The internet, bro. Like,
that.
come on.
I was around before the internet, so I don't know about all that stuff. But so
Mr.
point,
Dial-up over here.
but you can kind of drive up there, but there's the main thing that most people do is you get this train. The train or a little tram, I'll call it a tram, is more representative of what it was because it goes up this hill, but it's like they didn't make it go round the hill at a steady incline. They were just like, we're going up now. So there was times when you're sat on there and it's like you're looking, when a plane takes off and it's like you can
Ah,
see, yeah, it's like that. Like there was times when we went past, the road was like this. We went past the road and I swear the angle of the tram was like for those that are listening to this, it must have been at least a 70-degree incline, if not more than that at certain times. But to get up there to see it, and then the views from up there was that's a once in a lifetime type deal. So I'm not sad that we went to Rio at all. Because the other thing from up there, you can see this. I don't know what the stadium is called in Rio, which is really bad. But the stadium where the NFL game is going to be hosted this year in September, you can see it from up there amongst many, many other things. Um, so that was really cool. And then we went down and we had a small experience of carnival and the blockos, they call them, the kind of moving block parties that go with drummers and musicians and instruments and stuff on the beach, which is again like bucket list tick. Carnival on the beach in Rio. Question, yes.
no, I was just going to say it's called the Maracana Stadium.
Ah, yes, yes. Say it again. Say it again.
Maracana.
Thank you. Yes,
You're
no, you're right. Don't doubt yourself.
It's got the squiggle over the end. It's
Yeah.
yeah. Like
Well,
mañana.
it's different in Spanish. Portuguese is different to Spanish. Just saying. Just saying. So it,
Español.
it's a nasal N sound, but we'll keep it moving.
Oh.
Uh, so I don't know. That was cool. That was cool. So we stayed there. Went to the wrong hotel, but to be fair, the hotels were the same. They had the same name. The two hotels had the
Was it
same.
the Hilton?
No, it wasn't Ibis. That was a problem as well. Don't do this. Yeah.
I want
Don't
to remind
ask
everyone
me.
I had zero planning in this trip, and we're
Hey,
still on day
so
one.
both of them were called Ibis, and I can't remember what the area was called. Both of them were called the same thing, like literally. And then we got there, and she was like, "Oh no, this one is I don't know." But it wasn't very far. It was less than 5 minutes down the road, to be fair. But and then we also had so many bags because we took some of the equipment and shirts over that no Ubers would take us as one. So we had to keep getting what's the number six? Six bags. It wasn't, don't say it's not six bags like it was all our stuff. It was six bags of shirts for Brazil and stuff. So yes. I feel like there's more research going on as well.
Hello. So, just done a little Google of all the Ibis hotels available in Rio, and it seems that they all have very small differences that would distinguish them from one
Tiny,
another.
tiny.
Like the address.
Basically, it's
The
the kind
address
of
is normally a good
difference.
one.
It's the
Uh,
kind of difference that's after, when it shows you the start of a text, but then it does like dot dot dot, right? And so the differences would be after that dot dot dot. Yeah, very similar, very similar. It was because also to be clear, and this is where we went wrong. As much as I did the planning, Phoebe booked the Uber that went to the wrong place, and that's
but
why.
did she do it based off of the address that
Literally
you
checked
gave
it.
I
her
didn't
that
give
was
an I didn't give an
incorrect
address.
from the
I gave a
book?
name. I gave a
You,
name.
I said, "Is this the one?" And you said yes.
I said that's the right name. I said that's the right name. That's what I said. If I'd have booked it myself, I would have just copied and pasted. Guys, we digress. Okay, remember, we're in Brazil.
We're still on day one.
Other thing I would like to point, day two and three were fine. The other days were absolutely fine. It was day one that was a bit fun again. But I don't know what it is, and it might just have been the hype and excitement of being in Brazil. I was like, the colors are different out here. Like everything just seemed brighter, more colorful. Like the greens in the plants that like was like so green. I don't know how else to say that. Like it was super green, and it was really cool.
I don't
It was
want to
really
say
cool.
something, but I don't know what to say, but keep going, keep going.
Yeah. Anyway, no, it was Brazil was cool. It was good to go to Rio. Like that's done, and hopefully we get to go back there in September to do some bits, some more things. Because then
I
we
feel like you skipped a bit of the story. Like you've gone, Phoebe was like, "This is only day one." You were like, "Yeah, it was just a great trip. We
yeah, no,
just had a
Dave,
really
because we
great time."
landed. By the time we got to Rio, it was probably lunchtime. A quick nap because we'd flown overnight. Went to
Siesta.
Christ the
Yeah,
Redeemer
hadn't slept yet.
Carnival.
Yeah.
Oh, and then we did dinner. We did dinner in Rio, which was like this big, crazy, massive meal. Amazing food. But it was that was pretty much it, day one. Morning of day two, 5 a.m. taxi to the airport because we had to get to Curitiba, which was the quiet energy center of Brazil, a small town, a small city, sorry, I should say, quiet, like not the hustle and bustle of Sao Paulo or Rio. Um, and that's where we did our first camp with the Curitiba Crocodiles, who have an amazing story if you guys ever want to look them up. They were really, really good hosts for us. We did it in their tackle. They have a tackle stadium that's purpose built for them. So and pe like people came out and supported, got involved. It was a really good camp. We had Gabby Bankart there. We had Athos. They call him the King. He has a cool crown celebration. Mateus was there. A bunch of other coaches as well. I'm
Coach
not remember
Esther.
everyone, but Luis, Renato. Like there was a lot of, and Esther was there. The starting QB for the Brazilian women's team. Everyone came out, but it was really fun, really warm. They promised me rain, and it didn't rain. That's the only I'm hating a bit, but they said it's gonna like give us the tropical rain, and it didn't. It rained for like maybe like 10 seconds. Literally, it rained for like 10 seconds, and then I was like, oh, was that it? Um, and that was cool. I really don't remember that evening, to be honest. It could be finished late, and it was just to the hotel. What did we eat? I don't remember. I don't remember anything about that night after Curitiba. And
This
then
is Kenny's brain. This whole episode is just
yeah,
Kenny's
yeah,
brain.
literally. And then and then the next morning, another early flight to Sao Paulo, which is where we stopped off on the way to Rio, to have the camp in Sao Paulo. And again, Oakley came out. Anna, thank you very much from Oakley, Brazil, who they put together a video. It was just so much. And the last thing I will say is there are talented players in Brazil. I'm just looking forward to them like putting it all together because I think they could have. I think flag football could really take hold in Brazil. They've got the weather for it. They've got the athletes. I'm just looking forward to them like galvanizing it, finding a way to get it all together, and it'll be interesting to see what they come up with in the next few years because some of the athletes we saw, I was like, yeah, yeah, this could be really cool. So, and that's it. That's the Brazil adventure.
I don't know if anybody's any clearer on what happened over those few days, but
Four camps, three cities, all the fun. It was really good. It was really, really good.
yeah. Things that I learned in Brazil. One, I love these like tapioca cheese fried things. Unreal. Don't know what they're called. Highly recommend. Two, if you order like a double espresso or like two double espressos, they come as individual shots, which is awkward when you get like four individual cups. And three, you don't throw your toilet paper in the toilet. It goes
That's
in the
like
bin.
Greece.
Yeah, like some of the other countries. So lots of learnings there. But no, people were amazing and it was intense. It was intense, I'll be honest. I think like the amount of flying we did was that probably almost killed me. So yes. Because flying, yes, Kenny.
No, no, no. Flying finish. I was gonna.
Flying Monday, not sleeping overnight, landing Tuesday, then flying again Tuesday, then flying
Oh,
again
through
Wednesday
Wednesday,
morning,
flying
then
Thursday.
flying again Thursday, twice in one day. I went to Florida, landing Friday morning, so for work. So it was probably my
Mm.
max capacity of flights. But thank you to
You pushed.
Brazil and everybody who made it as fantastic. Flag Football Brazil and everybody, you were amazing. So I appreciate you. And
Listen,
from there, we went on to Florida, or Kenny went home. I went to Unrivaled Flag, which was also a marathon. So from a marathon of flights to doing 25, calling 25 games over 2 days was a lot of focus, but to be able to do it with ESPN and with Unrivaled and see what they did, Under Armour showing up as well, crowning all the different championships, calling my first ever 5U game, which is literally like
does
herding
that
cats.
does that work? Like, did they play or just
These
honestly?
kids, I have to say, these kids are like they could run laps around some of our adults.
You're
Like it's
joking.
insane. You should definitely watch it. Like it's so impressive to see what 5U at the championship level looks like. I mean, the coaches are on the field. At one point, a coach, and like boys and girls, like coach picking up a player, putting him there, being like, "Do this," but they do it to a T. Like it is impressive, all the way through to 17U. So congratulations to all the winners of that. Austin Bradshaw, who hosts that with Unrivaled. It's the Youth World Championship. So running it back again next year. And that kind of leads us to, as of recent, with the Bears finals day in Spain happening last weekend, Mr. Bello.
What? No, I'm joking. This weekend was kind of busy, kind of busy. It was really good. We had the girls, the Chicago Bears girls flag league has been running in Spain, Barcelona, and Madrid since October/November time. And the guys from Interflag, which was a separate international tournament, were kind enough to let us run the finals in and amongst their tournament. So we had the semi-finals, and then we had the Madrid versus Barcelona, a team from the top team from Barcelona against the top team from Madrid on the day. Um, so it was really good to see that the girls, the difference when we go in at the start and we kind of see the girls, most of them playing for the first time, the difference in them between then and this past weekend where they're not just running plays, but running them like really well, reading the field, playing good defense, choosing when to blitz and cancel the blitz. Like the growth in them was really cool to see. We put on a great day. The guys were great. And the girls, as always, for me, it's always about the players, the people the experience for the players. They had a great time. Some of them were upset that they didn't win, but that's natural as is by the by. But the winning
Both gotta lose
team.
in it.
True.
Second place is the first loser. I don't
It
know.
could only be what I do not sign up. I don't, yeah, anyway, I don't subscribe to that. But congratulations to our very own Sabrina, who is one of our Team Spain athletes, but also a Duke sponsored athlete. It was her team that ended up, it was good to see her coaching, and it was her team that ended up winning on the day, the team from Barcelona. So it was really cool. They had these Chicago Bears themed names, and they were the 85 Legends, which, if you know anything, Chicago Bears won the Super Bowl in 85 with one of their best teams of all time. Um, so yeah, that was fantastic all in all, some great content from there. But as I said, the most important is that the girls had a great experience, a really, really good experience on the day.
And you guys won the tournament as well as Team
Yeah, just
Spain.
tack it on. Yeah, so it's not Team Spain, not allowed. Cough, cough. The Spartans came through, and yes, it was good to have. I realized that Saturday morning was the first time I've called plays since the bronze medal game at the European Championships, which was
Wow.
a bit scary. Yeah, it was like wow, that was wild.
Did you remember how to do it?
Honestly, no, no. I was like, I know what play I want to run, but where is it? Like, where am I going to? 'Cause I think it's very different talking through it, planning for it, when you're in the heat of the moment, it's like difficult to work it out and go through. But
Hmm.
yes, a great showing from the girls. Some good competition out there. Shout out the Bergamo Lions, who their coaches had the best like cream colored jackets ever. I tried to swap one, but yeah, I didn't get around to it. We played well. There were teams there from Mexico. Mr. Law was there from. Uh, I know him from the Curry Bombers, but he was there as Team Fiji, um, who where they'd just come back from running some NFL flag events there in Fiji, um, which was I don't know. I saw the videos and like some of the kids don't have shoes on, but they're having the best time playing flag football, just in the field. So they came from there. It was a Fiji representative team from the States, but they had a men's team and a mixed team in the tournament. I believe both did very well. But it was cool to see them and catch up with them. So some good competition. The biggest international tournament in Madrid, I believe. I think Cambrils might have had bigger ones. I'm not sure. But all in all, great tournament. Nice to come out of it uh, with a win. Nothing more, nothing more, nothing less.
And then, Yaz, what have you been up to?
Mostly I've just been in my coaching bag. So the Vipers have made it to playoffs. So they actually have their first game this weekend. It's been a crazy sort of few weeks. Like the lead up to Christmas was um like insane. You get to this point in like uni ball especially where you're just like, are we really playing? Like, is this what we do? Like the amount of mud and the facilities aren't great. And then we played City just before the break, and then they came back and they had their next two games on the bounce. And the game we played was versus Imperial, and because we'd absolutely trashed our field the week before with Essex, which I had to ref, which in itself was an enigma. It was great fun. I nearly flagged their sideline, but their coach was quite nice. So I was like, look, I'll allow you, but all of you need to shush. Um, but yeah, no, it was good. It was a really good experience. It does give you a massive case of FOMO, like when you're a coach and you're, the ref on the opposite sideline, like, and you're watching other coaches talk to your positionals, and you're like, oh, like, I want to talk to them. But then they won that game. And then we had Imperial last week, and I don't know what it is with Imperial, but whenever you step across the road to that field, it's like the winds change, the weather changes, like it's like a different environment. And then you go back over to where the change rooms are, and it's like it's sunny and everyone's happy, and it's a land of like the living, and it's great. But it wasn't a pretty game at all. It was just like I don't think either team could really get started. But obviously it was the game for promotion. So we won. So we've had a really good season. So we're back to Div 1 finally.
Yay.
Because I'm just going to put it out there and no one will disagree. Div 2 is the trenches, man. Like no one cares for you down there. Like you are just fighting for your life. And usually for your ankles as well, because the facilities are trash. So like it's a crazy place to be. But it would just be nice to be back in Div 1 with some competitors, really. Like I don't mean that to be offensive to any other teams, but when you're in Div 2, like you're not always privileged to be a uni that gets the funding for your team. And because of that, you then don't necessarily have people that show up for your team. Like I'm lucky that we're in a team where we've been a focus group, because we've been like all right the last few seasons. So we've been a focus group, and it's really definitely helped sort of push us back up there. So, we can enjoy the playoffs now because there's no more pressure. It's just go play, and thank God we're one seed, so it's at home because otherwise Gloucestershire is far. Um, but so yeah, that'll be the game on Sunday, and then fingers crossed. But next season will actually be a doddle. Back to the old Kent rivalry. We love to see it. But yeah, no. Apart from that, I've been chilling. Like I've been watching you guys living vicariously through you. Um, you know, catch flights, not feelings, guys. That's what you gotta
That's my
do.
motto as well. I'm like, don't catch in flight so we don't catch feelings. No, it's, in talking about flight, you have to bring up the Jets and what they've just done, not only in the States, but signing $1 million, getting kind of the colleges around the area to get going, but now investing more into the UK, creating the first international elite team that is going to be hosted. And so they just had their big kickoff day. We're recording today is Monday, so they had their big kickoff day today, which was wonderful to see. They had players down at GB practice over the weekend. Just what they're doing to really grow the game and the investment that they've made is really quite spectacular. But man, what a journey it has been. It has been so great to be back with the two of you reunited, and it feels so good. And guys, all of our listeners, we appreciate your patience with us. We are all back similarly on the same time zone in sort of the same area. So we are back consistently, and we are excited to be back in your ears, on your TVs, in your living rooms, wherever you listen to us. We are grateful. So make sure you like, subscribe, and ring the bell. And we'll see you next week for more What the Flag.
Yay!